24 hours before the raid, Kim Kardashian decides to unfollow Diddy, right? Well, come to find out, this person by the name of Lou Taylor is apparently Diddy's manager. Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through some church fund, okay? Not only that, Kim Kardashian mama has been making these girls pay 10% tithes to some church that Lou Taylor and her husband is basically owner, co-owner, or whatever.
Can you believe Kim Kardashian is being named because she is said to have worked with Diddy and bribed his partners? As if 2024 couldn't get any stranger, the world pulls another surprise and drops another bombshell, making us question everything we thought we knew about our favorite people in show business. Fans have been suspicious of Kim's role in Diddy's affairs for a while now, and it seems like we finally have some evidence to back it up. We now know that Kim Kardashian not only knew about Diddy's shady behavior, but she also supposedly helped him hide the evidence and pay his victims in exchange for a cut of the profits. I think you should strap yourself in for this crazy drama ride and hold on tight because things are going completely crazy. Did Kim really work with Diddy to plan for Kanye West to kill himself so they could steal his money? Okay, ciao. It looks like Kim's game is over because Diddy is spilling the beans and spilling them hard. Let's clean up this mess.
They tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly, it took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah. So look at what they did. Look at what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain.
It looks like Diddy is trying to bring as many people down as he can. Tell me why this man has been telling on everyone. And they mama, y'all know how there have been multiple reports about how footage from his parties on the offs has been leaking for the past couple of days. Well, word on the streets is that he is supposedly behind the leaks, and now he just leaked footage of Kim Kardashian. And it is very, very bad. Hey folks, remember when Cat Williams dropped that bomb about Diddy not being the only celeb in hot water? Well, it seems like he wasn't kidding because a bunch of them are getting dragged down with him, and guess who's caught up in the whirlwind? None other than Kim Kardashian. But hold on to your hats because the accusations against her are wild. Word on the street is she might have been helping Diddy smooth over some rough patches by allegedly paying off his accusers. And us special friends, looks like Kim's got more than just contouring on her plate. These days, rumor has it her bank balance isn't looking so hot and it's becoming harder to brush off. You know how Kim and her crew are all about flaunting their wealth online with their luxury cars and dreamy homes. Well, seems like there might be some cracks in that shiny facade because Kim's reportedly drowning in debt. Let's talk cash. Honey, Kim's always had a bit of a shady reputation when it comes to money issues. She's not one to shy away from controversial ad gigs if they pay well. There's talk that she's not afraid to bend the rules, a bit of whispering about her participation in some dodgy dealings cozying up to the less savory characters in the finance world. Now, let's rewind to Kim's pre-fame days when she was hustling as Bry's closet helper. Rumor has it that Kim wasn't exactly playing by the rules back then, and there's some serious tea about her and Khloe supposedly pulling a fast one on Brandy. Here's the story on Kim's gig as Bry's right-hand woman. Back in those early days, Kim got her hands on Bry's credit card for a single buy, and Bry's mom kept a close eye on the spending. But here's where it gets juicy. After Kim left her post with Brandy, along with Khloe and Rob, they supposedly cooked up a scheme to swipe a cool $120,000 from Bry's mom. Kim had been holding on to those credit cards like a secret weapon, biding her time for the right moment to strike. And when she thought the coast was clear, she made her move to cover their tracks. They laundered the money in their own shops, dash and smooch instead of blowing it all in one go. It turns out they thought they were being slick by funneling the cash through those stores, thinking it would blend in with Bree's usual spending spree. But guess what? They got busted because Bree's mom, who was the one calling the shots on the payments, didn't exactly give the green light to those transactions. At first, Bree's mom tried to keep things cool, giving Kim a chance to square things away without bringing in the big guns, all thanks to their tight connections with Brandy and Ray J. But when Kim kept dragging her feet for over a year without coughing up the dough, Brandy and Ray J's mom had had enough and took them to court. However, Brandy and Ray J managed to smooth things over, persuading their mom to drop the lawsuit and handle it privately. According to Ray J, this whole mess was the final straw in his relationship with Kim, not because of their adult tape, as some might have speculated. And guess what? That wasn't the end of Kim's shady adventures. Rumor has it she was also involved in a money laundering scheme. Before she became a household name, she allegedly had a sugar daddy named Joel, an Asian fella accused of laundering some seriously dirty cash. Insiders claim that Kim frequently traveled with Joel to gambling houses and casinos. In 2009, she even claimed to have flown back to LA with a trash bag full of $250,000 cash that he had won from a casino in Las Vegas. But it turns out that this might have been part of a larger money laundering scheme, as Joe Lowe has been implicated in such activities, the insider wrote. Lowe is wanted by international authorities in connection with a multi-billion-dollar money laundering scam. He is accused of being the mastermind behind a scheme to siphon $4.5 billion from the Malaysian state-run Economic Development Fund, One Malaysia Development Bank. All right, buckle up, because here's where things start to get really wild with Kim and her crew. Despite getting the FBI's eye and being under the microscope, somehow she managed to slip through the cracks without facing any charges. But hold on to your hats, because it's about to get even more strange. There's some eyebrow-raising chatter going around saying that the Kardashian-Jenner clan might not be swimming in cash as much as they want us to believe. Word on the street is that they've been playing some sneaky games with their taxes, and it involves a rather unusual tactic with the California Community Church. Now, get this. This church was actually set up by none other than Jenner Momer herself back in 2009. It's all registered as a nonprofit and asks members to cough up $1,000 every month plus give 10% of their yearly earnings. Guess who's at the top of the list when it comes to these so-called donations? You got it, the Kardashians themselves. Here's where it gets a little shady that a 10% donation translates into a hefty tax break each year. And considering Kim's boasting about pulling in around $80 million yearly, that's a cool $8 million off her taxes. But wait, there's more. Kris Jenner just happens to be the one pulling the strings at the church, which means when the Jenner sisters hand over their 10%, it's essentially padding their mom's pocket. And here's the twist. Kris could easily find a way to funnel that cash right back to them, meaning they're not exactly sacrificing anything while still having a hefty tax break. Talk about games. Now remember this church bit because we'll come back to it in a sec. Alright, let's get back to the Kardashians and their shady financial moves. The whole situation reeks of tension, and it's shady as heck. But wait, there's more to the story because a lot of pieces just don't seem to fit when it comes to Kim's money matters. Folks are sure she's been inflating her earnings and net worth. This kind of shady business isn't new to the Kardashians. We all remember how Forbes exposed Kylie for lying about the value of her Kylie Cosmetics empire, and she ended up losing her billionaire status. Well, Kim is still officially a billionaire, but people think that she doesn't act like it. In 2022, she was probed by the SEC after she advertised the cryptocurrency Ethereum Max without adding a disclaimer to show that it was a sponsored ad and she had gotten paid to do so. And here's where things really take a turn. Kim found herself tangled up in a pump and dump plan involving cryptocurrency. And let me tell you, it was a whirlwind she didn't see coming. She ended up with a big fine of $126 million for her part in that shady business. But hold on, we're not done with the drama just yet. Despite claiming billionaire status, people are raising their eyes at Kim's Instagram hustle. I mean, come on, a billionaire putting ads on the gram. It's got more of an Instagram influencer vibe than that of a billionaire business. Mogul, if you catch my point, this stirred up more whispers about Kim and her whole family not swimming in cash as deeply as they'd like us to believe. Now, don't get me wrong, she's not exactly pinching pennies, but she's not rolling in dough like she wants us to believe. And here's the kicker. While they were happily married, Kanye made sure to keep his finances separate from Kim's. He wasn't about to get mixed up in her money mess and risk taking a hit to his own bank account even when they were all lovey-dovey. It was a smart move, if you ask me. Sources spilled the beans to People magazine, revealing that Kim and Kanye keep their cash flow strictly divided. It's all about my money and her money in their household. So yeah, looks like even in the land of the rich and famous, it's every person for themselves when it comes to the moolah. But it looks like Kim's financial woes have only deepened since her split from Kanye last year. Reports surfaced revealing she was swimming in a staggering $48 million of debt, which is just mind-boggling. Word on the street is she took out a whopping $48 million mortgage on her $70 million mansion. And get this, she's in such a tight spot that she can't even lean on her family for help because every single one of them is knee-deep in debt. It's a really tough spot to be in, no doubt about it. Her mom, Kris Jenner, has a very long list of bills, and according to The Sun, she first of all took out a loan for $725 million in August 2018, but the following month that was superseded by a new agreement for a whopping $40 million loan through the financial company Crosswind Venture Fund. Then in January 2019, she borrowed $2 million and $525 million in June of that year, according to property records. Well, buckle up, because here's the kicker. Kylie also borrowed a cool $7.5 million, and to cut a long story short, the Kardashians are sitting on a hefty $132 million pile of debt, which is just mind-blowing. But hey, they got to keep up that designer clothes and private jet lifestyle somehow, right? And these financial worries are just the latest in what some are calling their flop era. They might want to up their game real soon. And if Kim thinks Kanye might swoop in to save the day, well, she better think again. Sources say Kanye's fully focused on his new wife, Bianca Sori, and Kim's not exactly on his radar except when it comes to co-parenting their 4 kids. Ouch, that's got to sting, but hold on to your hats, because if you thought things couldn't get any messier or shadier for Kim, think again. It's always one scandal after another with her and the fam, but this just might take the cake. The word on the street is that she's been revealed as Diddy's madam in his ongoing legal tangle with the feds, and it looks like Kim's really outdone herself this time. It looks like the truth's finally coming to light about Kim Kardashian's sudden case of forgetfulness. When it comes to Diddy, at first we all thought she was just trying to distance herself from him amidst the scandal swirling around him. But hold up. If that's the case, why is she still cozying up to Balenciaga? That raised some major eyebrows. Well, it turns out there might be more to Kim's disappearance act than we thought. Word on the street is that she's been running scared that fans might start connecting the dots between her and Diddy's shady deals. And wouldn't you know it, they did exactly that. When the whole Diddy debacle blew up, folks started assuming that he had some heavy hitters backing him and helping him dodge the fella. I'm talking about influential friends with real pull in high places. Names like Jay-Z and Beyonce got tossed around, but there was one name that flew under the radar: Kim Kardashian. Yep, fans turned into agents faster than you can say. Scandal looks like Kim's attempt to fly under the radar only ended up shining a spotlight on her involvement, or lack thereof, depending on who you ask, in the whole mess. A tough break for someone who's used to being the master of her own narrative. Woo, strap in, because things are about to get wild in the Kim K saga. Picture this: Kim and Diddy type pals with a history that goes way back. I'm talking close enough that he was one of the very few people she followed on Instagram, but held the phone because Kim suddenly hit the unfollow button just days before Homeland Security came knocking on Diddy's door. A coincidence? Not in Kim's playbook. Now, some might brush this off as a mere chance, but let's be real here. Kim Kardashian isn't exactly known for leaving things up to chance, so naturally folks started digging into Kim's past. And boy, did they find some juicy tidbits about her and her family's connections to Diddy's alleged shadiness. The plot thickened when TikTok sleuth BD, the songwriter, did a deep dive into Kim and Diddy's alleged participation in Britney Spears' conservatorship saga. Hold on to your hats, because it doesn't stop there. Rumor has it, Kim even tried to pull the same move on Kanye. Now, this might sound like some far-fetched Hollywood drama, but when you connect the dots, it starts to make a twisted kind of sense to see Kim's buddy-buddy with Lou Taylor, the genius behind Britney's conservatorship, Els the brains behind Tristar Sports and Entertainment Group. And let's just say she's got a reputation for playing dirty when it comes to her clients. It's like a Hollywood plotline playing in real life. Apart from Britney's nightmare, there have been rumors about Lou trying to pull a similar stunt with Lindsay Lohan. Luckily, Lindsay's family wasn't having any of it and fought tooth and nail to keep their daughter out of her hands. Now, you might be thinking how all this connects to Kim. Let me connect the dots for you. Kris Jenner's church. I mentioned earlier that initially folks thought it was just a shady ploy by the Kardashians to score some tax write-offs, but it's way worse than that. It turns out Lou Taylor sits on the board of that church, and word on the street is that the church supposedly gets hefty donations from Diddy to settle his various disputes over the years. Supposedly, on the surface, it might seem like the church is just doing some charity work, but the truth is much darker.
24 hours before the raid, Kim Kardashian decides to unfollow Diddy, right? Well, come to find out, this person by the name of Lou Taylor is apparently Diddy's manager. And this Lou Taylor woman is also on the board of Hillsong's church home. Follow me, go with me. They are doing all of this, child, in the name of the Lord. Just follow the story. Now, to cover myself, everything in this video is alleged, honey. This is what I digged up, and I don't know how much truth is to it, but there's reportings, okay? So everything that I'm saying is allegedly. Keep that in mind. So, Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through some church fund, okay? Not only that, Kim Kardashian mama has been making these girls pay 10% tithes to some church that Lou Taylor and her husband is basically owner, co-owner, or whatever. So I was like, let me look into this Lou Taylor person. I'm thinking Lou Taylor was a guy who was a woman with a husband, whole husband. And they doing ministry and everything. Now, mind you, y'all remember the whole thing with Britney Spears? So come to find out, Lou Taylor, this gets deep, y'all, hold on. Okay, so Lou Taylor is the CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment. She's like a business manager icon. Now, Mike, do y'all know the Lohans? What's the Lindsay Lohan? So she apparently, allegedly, she has been behind most of these stars' conservatorship situations, especially Britney Spears. So before we talk about Britney, Mike Lohan, which is the Lohan girl, Lindsay Lohan's daddy, accused Lou Taylor and the mama Dina Lohan for trying to put Lindsay Lohan in a conservatorship concerning her money. Also, allegedly, there's a lawsuit from 2021 with Astroworld tragedy, and she's being sued for employment discrimination. This is what this Lou lady is. Now, Lou Associates maintain intense control also over Britney Spears' life and money. And she was behind even the conservatorship of why Britney Spears had that conservatorship, because she ended up becoming the business manager and took over the financial pieces of Britney Spears' whole situation.
Buckle up for this wild Hollywood ride, because the turns just keep on coming. Let's rewind to Lou Taylor, the alleged brains behind those star conservatorship schemes. Hold on to your hats, because her rumored methods read like something out of a blockbuster thriller. The word on the street is that she's been at it for years, supposedly getting celebs wrongly diagnosed with conditions they don't actually have, then swooping in to slap them under the conservatorship ship and pocket their hard-earned cash. But here's where the story takes a truly jaw-dropping turn. Enter Kanye West, dropping big hints about this whole mess not too long ago. Supposedly, Kim and Diddy were the puppet masters behind the scenes, trying to pull off the same stunt on Kanye. But Kanye wasn't about to let them run roughshod over him. So he dug in his heels, and their little scheme went up in smoke.
Look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean,
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah. So look at what they did. Look at what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain.
Hold on to your seats, because this Hollywood story just took a turn for the even wilder. Brace yourself. Britney Spears herself has come forward, alleging she was fed the same misdiagnosis as Spiel before being thrust into a conservatorship. And who's she pointing the finger at? None other than her own parents, and waiting for it. Lou Taylor. But here's where it goes from wild to downright mind-blowing. A rumor has it that the Kardashians reportedly pocketed a staggering $600 million from Britney's conservatorship. Fans started raising eyebrows when Kim's net worth suddenly shot up by $600 million overnight. And even though she tried to credit it to Skims, people weren't buying it. If you're L. Taylor and you need to hide $600 million, would Kim's estate be a reasonable place to try and hide it? But that's not all, because they also pointed out how Kylie Jenner also sold half of her makeup company, Kylie Cosmetics, for a very familiar price. The fan explained that if you're following the plot, that means the money could have gone from Britney's trust to Stonebridge to Panama, back into the U.S. through Kim's trust and over to Kylie Jenner. Lou Taylor, the mastermind orchestrating Kim's financial dealings, finds herself entangled in a complex web of links. Not only does she oversee Kim's finances, but she's also intertwined with Kris Jenner's church, reportedly channeling funds to Diddy's purported victims through Kim. It's like peeling back layers of a twisted onion, and we're only scratching the surface. But hang on to your hats, because here comes the biggest bombshell yet. If we've managed to piece together this puzzle, just imagine what secrets the feds might be unearthing. Word on the street is Kim's poised to find herself smack dab in the middle of the RICO charges looming over Diddy. Yep, you heard it right. It's like watching a Hollywood blockbuster play before our very eyes. At this rate, Diddy might just bring down half the industry with him. As for the Kardashian clan, well, let's just say their empire could be on shaky ground. Reports suggest Kim is in full-on panic mode over this exposure, fully aware she's in deep trouble. Fans are shook by this, and they wrote, "Wow, nothing surprises me with the Kardashians." That young lady speaking on that tape certainly had a lot of incriminating information. Kim's time is up. She's losing business with Hulu and others. Based on the outcome of the trials with Diddy, will determine whether she can still be on TV, make endorsements, or get endorsements. She is on borrowed time right now. Amy thinks she will go down with Diddy, and that will be that, and the jails won't have enough room to hold all of these evil people. This is crazy, but y'all drop your ideas in the comments. Then check out this next video.